Hey girl, hey, can I tell you something that might reframe the last 2 years of your wellness journey? So, if you have ever gone down the cortisol rabbit hole, the content about lowering your stress hormones, managing your adrenals, balancing your cortisol, there's a very good chance that nobody in that content connected cortisol to your reproductive hormones, to perimenopause, to estrogen. And the missing link, it changes everything about what you actually need. I'm Stacy Lenae, and today we're going to talk cortisol. What it is, what it does, why it rises in perimenopause, and why the advice to just manage your stress is incomplete. And quite frankly, a little bit insulting. So let's go. So first, cortisol is not your enemy. Take a breath. You're welcome. I want to be clear about that. Cortisol is produced by your adrenal glands. It's your body's primary stress hormone. When something threatening or urgent happens, your cortisol spikes, your nervous system revs up, your energy mobilizes, you respond. Then the threat passes, your cortisol comes down, and your body goes back to normal. The problem is chronic cortisol. When cortisol stays elevated, day after day, week after week, that's when the damage happens. Chronically high cortisol makes it hard to sleep, hard to concentrate, harder for your body to regulate blood sugar, which can show up as weight gain, especially around the waistline. It erodes memory and emotional regulation. And emerging research links high cortisol in midlife to an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. So yes, chronic cortisol is a real concern. But here's where the conversation usually stops and where it really needs to keep going. Your hypothalamus, the part of your brain that regulates hormones, is constantly signaling to your ovaries to produce estrogen. In perimenopause, your ovaries start producing less. They don't answer the call the way that they used to. So your hypothalamus turns to your adrenal glands. It essentially says, what you got? And the adrenals send cortisol because cortisol is chemically similar enough to estrogen that the brain accepts it as a partial substitute. It's like sending the teenagers to the grocery store for rice for dinner and they come back with a box of Rice Krispies. So your cortisol, not just high because your life is stressful, your cortisol can be high because your adrenals are asking to fill in for your declining estrogen. That is a hormonal compensation response. No amount of meditation, adaptogens, or adrenal supplements is going to fix the root cause. The root cause is declining estrogen. But there's another layer too. Your body uses a molecule called pregnenolone to make both sex hormones and stress hormones. When you're under chronic stress, your body prioritizes cortisol production, which means it's pulling raw material away from making estrogen. Researchers call this the pregnenolone steal. So you get caught in a loop. Declining estrogen drives up cortisol. Chronic cortisol depletes the building blocks for estrogen, which makes estrogen decline further, which drives cortisol higher. One big loop. Then you are really in the soup. The cortisol content online doesn't connect this to perimenopause. I want to sit here for a second because this is something that genuinely bothers me because I'm watching it happen. There's a huge amount of content, a lot of it specifically targeted to women in their 30s and 40s, telling us how to lower our cortisol. Take these supplements, try this protocol, manage your stress, do this, don't do that. And without the hormonal context, all of that advice puts the responsibility back on you. Like you're not handling your life well enough. Like if you just breathed a little deeper and did some more yoga poses or some more meditation or went to bed a little earlier, your body would settle down. The framing is not accurate and not fair. Adrenal supplements are not going to address the root cause of why your adrenals are working overtime. They might not hurt you, but they're not going to fix what perimenopause is doing to your hormonal system. The more useful conversation is about estrogen, because supporting declining estrogen is what can actually take some of the demand off of the adrenal glands. And when the demand drops, guess what? Your cortisol can come down. The symptom is cortisol. The conversation is perimenopause. So, practically speaking, what the hell can you do? First, if you're over 35 and your cortisol is chronically elevated, bring it to your doctor in the context of perimenopause. If your doctor won't listen to you or doesn't want to have the conversation, time to find a new doctor. It is not just a stress problem. You need to frame it as my estrogen may be declining, and I think my adrenals are compensating. Can we look at this together? Second, the symptoms of chronic high cortisol and perimenopause are almost identical. Sleep disruption, weight gain around the middle, brain fog, blood sugar instability, mood changes, anxiety. So if you've been trying to solve that with cortisol protocols and nothing is sticking, that is useful information. Third, reducing chronic stress is still worth doing. Not because your stress caused this, but because chronic stress makes the pregnenolone steal worse. It accelerates the loop. So the movement, the sleep, and genuinely reducing your nervous system load, all of that matters. It just isn't the whole answer. And lastly, that content that you found that told you to fix your adrenals without ever mentioning your ovaries was leaving something out. Now you have it. This hormone series exists because the whole picture matters. We're building it piece by piece right here. And if you want to see just how many ways perimenopause can show up, I put together a free 82 symptom guide. Link is in the description. Download it, print it, take it to your next appointment, and make them go through it with you. Maybe leave them a copy. If cortisol content has been on your feed for a while, and something about today's video clicked differently, please share it. Someone in your life is watching adrenal support supplement ads and not connecting any of it to what their hormones are doing. Let's continue to have these conversations. Nothing I share here is medical advice. I am not a doctor. I am not your doctor. I'm a holistic nutrition student and woman living through this in real time with 2 adult daughters. And girl, if you haven't done something to love yourself today, please go do that. And if you don't know what that looks like, send me a DM. I will help a girl out. All my love. Until next time.